The wind howled across the barren plains like a starving wolf, dragging dust clouds over the scorched earth of Redwood Valley, a land where power spoke louder than justice, and men carried their greed in holsters. The morning sun bled red against the horizon as a lone rider approached, his black stallion kicking up the dirt of a world he never asked to inherit. His name was Cole Maddox, the coldest enforcer of the wealthy and merciless Baron Blackridge, a land baron determined to own every inch of soil beneath the western sky. Cole kept his eyes locked forward, jaw set, shoulders tense beneath his duster. He didn't like this job, taking a dying farmer's land, but he had no choice. He owed Blackridge his life, his freedom, his everything. And today, he was here to collect the payment. Far ahead stood a fading farmhouse, its roof sinking like weary shoulders under years of hardship. The fields around it were thirsty, cracked veins of dry earth where hope once blossomed green. But the smoke from the chimney told Cole enough. Someone was still clinging to life in that dying piece of land. He slowed his horse. He hated this part, because every land he'd taken came with stories, families, tears, and faces that haunted him when the moonlight got too quiet. A cough cut through the silence, not his. From the porch, a man stood there, frail, weather-beaten, leaning heavily on a wooden rail to stop his knees from collapsing. Samuel Hart, once the proudest rancher in the valley. His eyes narrowed when he recognized the black-coated rider. "You," Samuel spat, voice gritty with fear and fury. "Blackridge sent you, didn't he?" Cole dismounted, boots hitting the ground like a judge's gavel. "Mr. Hart," he said coolly, "your payments are overdue. The land defaults today." Samuel's trembling hand clutched his chest. "We just need time, my crops failed, my wife," his voice cracked to dust. "Please. This isn't personal," Cole replied, though his eyes flickered, just once, with something uncertain. "It always is," Samuel rasped. "Men like you take our blood and call it business." Cole didn't answer, could not answer, because the old man was right. A sudden slam echoed behind the screen door. Steps, light, hurried, angry. Then she appeared. Evelyn Hart. Barefoot. Dust on her dress but fire in her eyes. Her dark hair whipped in the wind like a banner of defiance. Her beauty was not fragile, it was carved of survival, of nights spent praying over an empty table, of battles fought with broken tools and unbroken will. She stepped between Cole and her father as if she were the shield. "You can't take this land," she said, voice steady enough to scare a gunslinger. "This is our home. You owe a debt," Cole repeated, meeting her fierce gaze. "Debts get paid." Her chin lifted higher. "And what do you think this land is worth to us?" "Everything. Every memory of my mother, every dream my father still tries to hold on to." Cole forced himself to stay hard, emotion kills in his line of work. But Evelyn stepped closer, too close. Close enough he could see the shimmer of fear she tried desperately to hide. "Please," she whispered. "Don't make him leave. He won't survive it." Cole's hand drifted to the document in his pocket, the contract that would rip their world apart. His voice came low, "It's not my call." Tears filled her eyes, but they didn't fall. She was stronger than that. Then she did something Cole never expected. She stepped even closer, heart pounding so loud he swore the earth could hear. She looked up at him with a mix of desperation and bravery that shook him to his core. "If it's a price you want," her voice trembled as she swallowed her pride. Then softer, a breath against his chest. "Take me, instead. Just spare him." Cole froze, stunned. Samuel gasped, "Eve, no." But Evelyn didn't look back. Her eyes, fierce and pleading, remained locked on Cole's. A storm raged in the hollow places of his heart. This girl was offering herself, her future, her safety, to save a dying man. Cole Maddox, the man they called the Heartless Hand, felt his pulse trip for the first time in years. He whispered, harsh and cracked, "You don't know what you're saying." "I do," Evelyn said, tears finally breaking free. "And so do you. Please, just don't take my father's land." Silence. The kind that breaks mountains. Cole turned away, angry at himself, at Blackridge, at a world that allowed this kind of sacrifice. He mounted his horse once more, but didn't ride away. Because now he wasn't just looking at land. He was looking at a choice. Her, or the law of the cruel man he obeyed. And something inside him, something buried, began to wake. Nightfall draped over Redwood Valley like a curtain of secrets as Cole Maddox rode with Evelyn Hart across the dark plains. Her hands were bound loosely, On purpose, but Evelyn didn't know his intentions. Not yet. The moonlight spilled silver over her hair, tangled from the wind, and her trembling breaths told Cole she was trying to be brave, even while terror gnawed at her heart. Behind them, the farmhouse lights flickered weakly, Samuel Hart praying his daughter would survive whatever bargain she'd made with the devil on horseback. Evelyn didn't speak for a long while. Her silence wasn't submission, it was calculation. She was the kind of girl who thought before she broke. Finally, she asked, voice soft but unflinching. "So, what does he want with me?" Cole didn't answer at first. His jaw tightened. He hated even the thought of Blackridge's intentions. The man saw people like livestock, owned, used, forgotten. Evelyn swallowed a shaky breath. "If you're going to hurt me, just say it." Cole pulled his stallion to a halt. The desert wind whispered through the dry grass between them as he turned to face her. "If anyone hurts you," he said, voice low as thunder, "it won't be me." Evelyn blinked. Confusion flickered, then suspicion. "What are you saying?" Cole looked away. Vulnerability wasn't his language. "I've taken enough from people like you," he muttered. "I'm not taking more." A moment passed, heavy, uncertain. "But my father," Evelyn's voice cracked, "that wound was fresh." "You promised. And I'll keep it," Cole cut in sharply. "Blackridge gets nothing from you. Not if I can help it." The words were reckless. Dangerous. A direct betrayal. Evelyn stared, trying to understand the man who had just ruined her life, and might be trying to save it. "Why?" she whispered. Cole didn't have the answer. Not one he was ready to admit. Instead he said, "Because some men don't deserve loyalty. And some land isn't worth a soul." Before she could respond, before she could decide whether he was her captor or her unlikely savior, a gunshot split the night. Bang! A bullet whizzed past Cole's head, shattering a dried tree branch behind him. Evelyn gasped, stumbling back, but Cole was already moving. He drew his revolver, eyes narrowed into a deadly glare. Shadows emerged on the ridge, Blackridge's riders. So fast. Too fast. Cole grit his teeth. He'd been followed. A familiar voice called out from the darkness. "Cole Maddox. The boss wants the girl delivered alive, and the land signed over by sunrise. Stand down and no one has to bleed." Cole's heart pounded. If he went with them, Evelyn was doomed. If he didn't, they were both dead. He leaned down toward Evelyn, voice urgent. "When I say run, you run. Understand?" Her eyes widened, she nodded. Because. Suddenly she knew. Cole Maddox wasn't the danger anymore. He was her only chance of surviving the ones who were.